You have tuned into the Beardown Corner with your host, Sergeant Cornholio. Hello, everyone. We are here for the exciting episode 10 of the Beardown Corner. So, let's jump into it. I'm your host, Sergeant Cornholio. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Today is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is 2025, and we got a whole slot of playoffs and everything else on its way. So, yeah, it's going to be a wonderful day today. Let's get into it, shall we? We got some Week 17 recap for all of you. So, Christmas Day had Kansas City taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not much of a game there, as it turned out to be kind of a bit of a beatdown. 29-10 was the final on that bad boy. Baltimore, they came out and I think they showed Houston that they're not as good as they thought. Because here's the deal. If you want to hang with teams like Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, all these high-powered offensive teams that can play some goddamn defense, 2 points for a safety ain't gonna fucking cut it, CJ Stroud. So I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. I hope they can turn it around. I like the Houston Texans and Nico Collins and Stroud and Tank Dell when he's healthy. And you got Joe Mixon back there, Dalton Schultz at tight end, a triage of fucking wide receivers to fill out the 3 to 6 spots. They have a good team. Defensively, they have a good team. They're just not in the upper echelon of NFL teams yet. So that's where you're going to get showing up like that. Anyway, on to the Thursday nighter. Chicago played, and we lost. 6-3 against the Seattle Seahawks, who were fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, which in a pivotal matchup coming in Week 18, they take on none other than the Los Angeles Rams in an afternoon game for the division title. So that's going to be fun and interesting to watch. Good for you, Seattle. Continue the grind. I personally think Los Angeles Rams are going to make the playoffs, take division, and slot that number 4 seed. So we'll see what happens. Denver could have won and made playoffs this weekend, but they didn't. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball big time. Dick Hard on Saturday night. Actually, it was Saturday afternoon. My bad. But you know what? When Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals come to town, they got Jamar Chase fucking running all over the field, still catching 9 targets. Of course it's going to leave your number 2 open when you're double to triple covering a guy. T. Higgins this weekend went for, let's see here, it was 131 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you had T. Higgins in your fantasy lineup this week, good work. That's all I'm going to say. Good fucking work. And thank God he came in the clutch in the championship. Los Angeles Chargers riddled the New England Patriots 40-7. Dude, oh man. Watching that game, first off, J.K. Dobbins came back. So that's a huge boost for the Los Angeles Chargers going into the playoffs. He had a touchdown with, I think, close to like 80 rushing yards or something like that. Either way, he had a good day coming back off an injury that anyone thought he was out for the season, right? So Ladd McConkey caught 2 touchdowns, almost a third in that matchup. He had a fade slot off to the right, but hey, you know what? It doesn't always happen. You still caught 2. You had over 100. You did well for me. Scored 29 points in my championship matchup this weekend, where the team known as Dick took it 176-126. That was on NFL.com fantasy football. But anyway, that's okay. Los Angeles Rams continue their push for the playoffs and division crown with a 13-9 win to finish off Saturday night. Week 17 football into the Sunday game matchup. You had Philly running over Dallas 40-14. Saquon Barkley eclipsed the 2,000-yard mark. He's now at 205 for the season, 100 away from tying Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing leader yards season record. So at 2105, I'm going to just say this. 2005 is a hell of an accomplishment. Nothing will be taken away from you on that. And if you break Eric Dickerson's record next week, thumbs up to you. But let me put it to you this way, Saquon, and I will just say this. In any legitimate NFL person's mind, you have to do it in 16. If you're going to break Eric Dickerson's record of 2105, you have to do it in 16. Hell, you want to do an even better accomplishment? Beat 205 at 14 games. Like the late, great O.J. Simpson fucking did. That's what people forget. Is a lot of these records that were created were done within different time eras, yes, but was done in a lot less games. And don't tell me, oh, the defenses gave up more back then. Fucking bullshit. Defenses ripped your fucking head off and put you in the hospital for a month if you didn't do what you had to do correctly. Back then, even in the late 80s when Dickerson did it, even when fucking Adrian Peterson and CJ 2K and fucking King Henry all rushed for 2,000 yards. Dude, these guys are talented as hell. By no means am I taking that away. I'm impressed as fuck, and I love watching it. But let me tell you this. There will forever be an asterisk beside that record if Saquon beats it next week. I personally hope he doesn't. I hope he rushes for 97 fucking yards and leaves it. Because you don't deserve it at 17 games. Just my opinion. But anyway, that's a little rant. That's a little cornhole rant right there for you. All right. New York Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills 40-14. Man, Josh Allen's just being a goddamn freak this season. He should win MVP. I love Saquon's numbers, and I know we always give it to quarterbacks and all that, but let's be real. The Buffalo Bills had no goddamn wide receivers this year. They ran heavily on their running back and quarterback for their rushing game. And they're making shit happen. Like they show up and you know that it might be a low scoring game, a high scoring game, but you know it's going to be a shit show. But you also know you could get 40 put up on you pretty goddamn quick. The man deserves MVP. He doesn't have a bunch of goddamn weapons. He's just doing what he has to do to win motherfucking football games. And you can say all you want for Patty Mahomes and KC. Fuck him. He has not put up the standards of that of the Buffalo Bills this season. Kansas City has done a great job winning games. But good God, the way they've won games this year, that fucking team should be even and not even making playoffs. But they keep finding a way to scratch it out, and eventually that luck's going to run out. Keep in mind, they lost to the Bills this season. One of their few losses, they lost to the Buffalo Bills. Let that sink in for you. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's their only fucking loss this season. Was to the Buffalo Bills. So you know what? Give Josh Allen his goddamn MVP already, and let's watch this man do some magic in the playoffs. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Football is what brings us together and can really identify the true definition of team. Las Vegas Raiders lost. Won this weekend in New Orleans. Sorry, my Saints fans. Sorry, my New Orleans boys. Shout out to my man Lando, Jake, Mr. Jeremy, and Dusty. Let's get her. 25-10. Running back, I think it was Abdullah, I believe his name is, like former third string depth chart. 127 yards this weekend. Good work, kid. Keep it up. Indy lost with their playoff hopes on the line to the New York Giants. 45-33. Dude, Drew Lock looked like fucking Peyton Manning out there on Sunday. Who the fuck is this cheeseburger eating motherfucker who just comes off the bench as number 2, gets beat around the week before? I'll just toss 4 touchdowns with no picks. Holy shit, 307 yards later, you got the win. Good work, New York. Carolina loses 48-14. Baker fucking Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen, is playing out of his mind right now. 5 touchdowns. He's leading a squad that is missing Chris Godwin, that had fucking Mike Evans injured for weeks. They don't even have Kate Otten at tight end right now. He was out. I don't even know what his definition is to the rest of the season, but like, they want it. Oh, but hey, here's a little tidbit. Wade Barrett is coming back to defense. Your former fucking linebacker there, Tampa Bay. So enjoy that. Former All-Pro there. So, you know, hopefully you keep it up. You win and you're in next week. Simple as that. Atlanta lost this week in the Sunday Nighter 30-24 in overtime. So Raheem Morris came out in the week saying I could have used a timeout after the 25-yard catch, done a little bit better positioning for that field goal to win it at the end. They didn't even get a chance. Washington went down, walk-off touchdown. But here's the deal. Tampa Bay controls their own destiny. So Tampa Bay, get your ass in there and let's get it going. Because, like, I don't know. As much as I would also, I'm fine with either team, actually. I'm okay with Atlanta going, because I like what Atlanta's done. They've gone through their bumps and grinds. I could care less for Kyle Pitts. And who gives a shit about the whole Kirk Cousins debacle? Look, Michael Penix Jr. is the quarterback of the future. That is what it's going to be. And also, shout out to my man Supersuit, Mr. Falcons fan. That's all we do here. We shout out our homies that love the teams. So, Atlanta, goddamn, I hope you can come up this weekend 18. This week 18, I hope you can come up with the win. Because it's going to be exciting. It's going to come down to the wire. Both these fucking teams want it. One week it's the other team in the lead. The next week it's the other. So I'm not even going to say Tampa's just going to walk away with it on next Sunday. Because they fucking can't. Anything is going to happen. It's already proven that the last 4 weeks. So let's get ready for some fun time football in week 18, baby. Playoffs are right around the corner. We're 2 weeks away from wild card. Let's fucking go. We got Tennessee losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-13. Miami beats the Cleveland Browns to keep their playoff hopes alive at 20-3. Backup quarterback, I think it was Tyler Huntley, led them to the win as Tua must have been out for God knows what. Green Bay falls 25-27. Minnesota comes out on that one. Dude, give fucking Sam Darnold a contract extension already. He's your quarterback. You watch the fucking locker rooms, whether it's the 2 losses they've had this season or the 14 fucking wins you've had with him at quarterback. You have a chemistry with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and fucking TJ Hawkinson. You went and got Aaron Jones. He'll play next year and Ty Chandler will back him up just fine. Or you go draft a fucking running back. You are in win now. And this is coming from your division rival in the Bears. Sign fucking Sam Darnold. Give him a 3-year deal. Doesn't have to be... Give him a 3-year deal. That way, by the end of him and J.J. McCarthy's contracts, if at those 3 years, you fucking walk away. Hell, you could front load the goddamn thing and pay him all next year and fucking cut him the next year. But pay the goddamn man. What more does he have to do to prove that he's earned and can keep the job in Minnesota? Why would you let him walk? This is a quarterback desperate, hungry league, and you're going to let a guy like Sam Darnold, former number 3 overall pick to the New York Jets, who don't know how to play a goddamn quarterback, you're going to just let this dude walk? He's 27, entering the prime of his fucking career. There is enough tape on the guy for teams to know what they're getting into with him, but he works for you, Kevin O'Connell. Sign your fucking guy. Sign him. That's my plea for the Ginger Jesus to stay on your team. And Detroit wins 40-34 on Monday Night Football. So, that sets up a very pivotal. We're just hopping right into week 18 on this point. We're a little bit everywhere. We're going to just include everything. This is the Beardown Corner. We do it as we see fit. So, week 18, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, for first overall in the NFC conference. Winner take all. That's as simple as that. Winner take all. Division, number 1 seed in the NFC, and bragging rights heading into the playoffs with that all and mighty bye week. So, huge matchup for Sunday Night Football. That's where it got switched to. Tune in this week, Week 18, Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a goddamn banger, shit show. It might be a shootout. Who knows? Either way, the stakes couldn't be higher for a Week 18 match in what I recall of recent memory. This is phenomenal. We have 2 14-2 teams going into Week 18. Who the fuck ever thought that was going to happen? That is crazy. It's exciting. And it's crazier that there's going to be 3 NFC North teams other than the Bears going to the goddamn playoffs. But you take your wins with your losses, right? That is okay, my friend. Let's do a little bit of around the league news with the cornhole. So, this was an interesting little one. John Gruden, I read in a recent report, has been linked to all the head coaching vacancies, all that bullshit. Basically, he's looked at as a candidate for the positions. Now, does it mean he's a fit? No, it does not. It means he's going to be one of the guys to interview in all the fucking positions. No different than Rex Ryan and Ron Rivera in fucking New York. Those two have been connected to interviewing for that head coaching position too. I don't know what New York's going to do. And personally, I really don't give a shit show about that goddamn soap opera happening over there in New York. But what I will tell you is the news about it, because that's what we do here at the Beardown Corner. We give you the football news. We want to be your source. So John Gruden has not coached since that debacle that got him fired from the Raiders when they were doing the Dan Schneider investigation, when he used to be the owner of the Washington Commanders / Redskins. He was investigated, and then they found certain, it was old emails and shit. But basically it was womanizing and being racist, basically, is what it broke down to. And Gruden, come on, we're in the fucking 21st century like this now. Tell that fucking douchebag Dan Schneider to fuck off, okay? And even if it was in whatever joking way, you know what? Just whatever. Let's just fuck. We can look past it. I don't know the full details. Was it something so horrific to the point we got to shut him down like fucking Hulk Hogan for the 4 years we did? I don't know. You choose. You decide. But I like John Gruden. I like Chucky. He's a fun character in football. All right. And there's way worse goddamn things that happen out there. I'm not trying to defend none of his shit, because honestly, I do not agree with it. But everyone deserves another fucking chance. All right? Whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's the guy down the street, everyone does not deserve to be alone. Everyone should have a helping hand within reason of the situation. All right? There is going over, but there is staying where you can be a good human being still. All right? We have to have some compassion. Not a lot, but there has to be enough that, you know what? Something like that, if he comes out and does it again, whatever. Turf the fucking guy. But I would have to think that him, being who he is, learned real quick and easy. He's been doing goddamn sports crap for Barstool Sports for the last few years. So I'm sure he'd love to get back into coaching. He's 61. So, he still has a good 10 years of solid fucking ramming it to these guys, right? So it'll be interesting. Brock Purdy exits with an elbow injury in the Sunday Nighter. In the report I read, he was talking about certain tingliness and whatever else. It doesn't sound like it's going to be too severe, but I guess more reports will come out with the injury status of that this week, so we'll find out on that. DJ Reed out of the Jets, cornerback opposite of Sauce Gardner, one of the top tandems outside of just the Jets having an absolute shit season. It ain't their fault. You can only put your goddamn defense on the field so much and expect them to stop the ball. But CJ Gardner, or DJ, CJ, whatever, DJ Reed, my bad, out of the Jets, wants out. Surprise, surprise. You know what? He looks forward to free agency. That's the story. I don't even want to talk about the Jets. They burn my tongue. I don't know. Tomlin of the Steelers says they're focused for Saturday night's game against Cincinnati. Now, this is a big game in its own way. So, if by some chance of the love of the gods, Cleveland pulls off the upset, okay, against Baltimore Saturday. So the way it lines up is Baltimore-Cleveland on the first game of Saturday. You followed up with Cincy and Pittsburgh the next, the evening. So if Cleveland can win, Pittsburgh will more or less be playing all their starters the whole goddamn game and pretty much squash any chance of Cincinnati having playoff hopes. But here's the deal. Cincinnati is playing like a playoff team. This is going to be a playoff game barring a Baltimore win. Because that's just it. That's the key right there, is a Baltimore win. Because here's the next question that came in reports after the game as well, leading up to next week. The question was, are you going to rest your starter since you know that you have a playoff spot locked in? Tomlin said, nah, but we'll see how the situation develops. You never know. Because if Baltimore wins, Pittsburgh doesn't really have shit. You use that as your bye game, man. Put your starters in, let them get the little bit of, do it like a preseason game. They play the first quarter and they're out. They play the first half and they're out. You don't need to risk injuries going into playoffs. But if Baltimore loses, you're going all out because you want that home field advantage. So you go get it. Either way, Saturday night's going to be a shit show for the NFC North. Tune into your local, wherever the hell you can watch your NFL games, and enjoy. We are in prime pre-playoff and playoff football. It's wonderful. Oh, to continue with that whole mantra of things, Josh Allen has been listed to play probably enough to register it as a start to keep the streak alive, since he has not missed a game since his rookie season. Over 100 plus games now of starting. And then he'll sit the rest of the game because they're locked in at 2 and they're ready to get going on to the next round. So that was said by Bills head coach McDermott. The book that knows all tells us Jaden Daniels broke RG3's rookie rushing, and not like a Washington rookie rushing record, but a NFL rookie rushing record in 825 yards that RG3 did it in his rookie season, I think of 2012, if I'm not mistaken, 2012, 2013. Jaden Daniels broke it in 16 games, so that record stands, but also with no asterisks, by the way. He still has one more game to add more. He's at 867 or something like that, 864 right now with one game to go. So good job. It's funny, though, that it's 2 Washington quarterbacks back-to-back for the rookie rushing record, though, But Jaden Daniels is not just he has to run for his life. He does it methodically. Tossed 5 touchdowns last week and led them to a comeback win where they were down 21-3 this week. Or no, was that last week? No, that was last week. No, but they still won in overtime this week with a walk-off touchdown. The Washington Commanders are not your Joe Blow team. They are legit. Will they make it far in the playoffs? That's to be seen. But the thing is, though, is they are competitive and they are here. Terry McLaurin has been a fucking cornerstone for that team for the last 5 years. He finally has a goddamn quarterback. Their running game's clicking in. Other receivers are getting open because of them finally being able to use their star guy. And Jaden Daniels is making it all look pretty. Congratulations, Commander Franz. Also breaking records this weekend. Here's one that I like. Brock Bowers of the Las Vegas Raiders, tight end, okay, has broken, and he still doesn't own the record yet because Malik Neighbors is following him. But this is for the rookie catches record, okay? I think it was set at like 106, something like that, by Darius Slayton, I think, back in the day. But at 108, Bowers has broken that. Sorry, I think it was 106. Bowers is at 108. Malik Neighbors is at like 104. They're in competition to try and finish out the season to see who gets it. But that wasn't the only history record making that Brock Bowers did this Sunday. No. This man set a new tight end record for rookies. He beat a record lasting since 1961. Let that sink in for a second. 1961. In 1961, we were coming along all the wonderful times where the NFL was against the AFL, and within recent years of that time frame, they became what we know today as the complete NFL. The NFL back then has technically become the NFC, and the AFC is actually the AFL. Merger happened in 1963. The Bears were still part of the NFL at that point, right? In 1961. Mike fucking Ditka, baby. Mike Ditka, my head coach of the 1985 Super Bowl winning Bears and former tight end of the Chicago Bears. Mike Ditka had that record as a rookie, and Brock Bowers has broke a record standing since 1961 this weekend. Congratulations, Brock Bowers. That is an incredible feat. You have a record of over 60 years dropping to you. Hey, you know what I say, though? It means you got a target now, my man. You are a top tight end in this league, and now you got to produce like that shit year in and year out. So it's going to be fun to watch you. I know, because right now, you're my tight end in the Holyoverse over on Twitch, Kick, and all the other streaming services that we do. TikTok Live, YouTube, and Instagram. We're working on others. But hey, I play for the Raiders now as Bunholio. You are a pretty damn good tight end, but in real life, let's see how your career goes. Great feat, though. Good job. Proud of you. And yeah, Saquon Barkley, we already kind of discussed him a little bit. It's 2005. It's impressive. I like it. I already gave you my 2 cents on the Dickerson record. We'll see how it plays out in week 17. Either way, it's going to be fun to watch. And of course, the general consensus, as it would be, the number 1 overall seeded Chiefs are going to rest their players on Sunday. Shocking news. So Denver, if you can't beat a half-up fucking Chiefs team to make the fucking playoffs, I think the fucking Bengals, if they win on Saturday night, deserve that final slot. I hope Miami loses and the Bengals get in. If Denver cannot pull off that goddamn win. Week 18 matchups. All right. Here we go. Got some playoff implications on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday night, we've already talked about. You got Baltimore in... Sorry, no, other way around. Let's redo that. We got Cleveland in Baltimore for a Saturday matchup that is going to determine the evening's matchup on whether or not the Steelers play all their starters the whole goddamn game. The Bengals are coming in hot, ready to try and score a bunch more fucking touchdowns as fucking Joe Burrow is looking like Drew Brees of the early 2010s, throwing for 5,000 yards. He wants them records, baby. He wants them all, and he wants to lead to a 9-8 record where they should be a hell of a lot more. Their 8 losses this year, 7 points or less. The Bengals are not a bad team. They've just had some shit luck and not been able to close out certain games. Saturday is going to be fun. Sunday, well, Chicago and Green Bay, that's going to end off the season. But hey, that's just more for like bragging rights, right? So hopefully the Bears can go into town. Caleb Williams can show what he can do and maybe score some fucking touchdown on the Cheeseheads. Love you, my man, KC. Good luck in our matchup on Sunday. New York Giants and Philadelphia. Well, you know what? We'll see what New York comes and brings. They might be pissed off and ready to take another goddamn win if they can. Like, it's locked in some way for the Eagles, but they're not fighting for number one. They're going to rest some guys. They want to get Saquon the record. But deep down inside, they all know. They all know that Saquon will have an asterisk beside that record. So honestly, if I'm Philly, whatever, go shove your biggest, baddest dudes, run the ball 20 fucking times in the first half, get him the record, walk away, see what happens. Win, loss, it's not going to matter for you Sunday. So not much to that game, really. Now here's where it gets interesting. We have 2 morning games. Carolina in Atlanta. Carolina has been playing tough, though. So I'm not going to write them off. By no means. Bryce Young, since being benched, has played way better. Way better. Smarter football is what he's been playing. All right? Smarter football. New Orleans comes into Tampa Bay in a matchup that Tampa must fucking have. No different than Atlanta must have. So, between the 2 NFC South matchups, it's win and you're in for Tampa, win and a Tampa loss, or tie. And that win for Atlanta, and you're in. So, NFC South crown is up for grabs. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be some fun ones. Yeah, so I feel my bold prediction, here it is. Mike McCarthy will be fired on Black Monday after Week 18. Will no longer be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. That is my prediction of the week. That is my big one. I don't see him. They fought valiantly. Connor Rush did a great job. Rico Dowell did a great job. Fucking CeeDee Lamb went and did golf on Week 17 when we all needed him. Fuck him. You got all the other guys. That team wanted to win, as every team does. But they really tried with all the shit they had going on for them. And it just did not happen. So I don't see McCarthy coming back unless, here's the unless, Jerry Jones is at the place of complacency where he knows he has contracts signed in place. They'll be competitive when healthy. But does he think that this is the solution? This is the team that will get over the hump. They just had an off year. I don't think that's going to happen. I think McCarthy's gone. So that's the bold prediction for Week 18 from the Beardown Corner. Jacksonville and Indy, not much happening there. The Indy lost their fucking chance last week with their loss to the New York Giants. So not much to be said there. Houston and Tennessee. Houston, get your ass in gear. Get primed. Get ready for playoffs. We'll see you there. Good luck. Buffalo, New York. Not much to be said there. It's going to be a division game. Number 2 locked out. Josh Allen will sit after he starts. KC, Denver. Well, Denver, you're in. Denver, you lose. You got to hope that a lot of other teams do you favors, because that ain't looking good, my man. That ain't looking good, Denver. And I like Denver. I like what Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton have done this year with frickin' Marvin Mims and the rest of that squad. They got a good team. Head coach Sean Payton has done a great job with that team. But can they get it done in what should have been kind of a rebuilding year? But that's not the case. They are better than they look. So start fucking showing it on defense and stop giving up these stupid goddamn losses, man. Come on, Denver defense. What the fuck? Patrick Surtain, I'm looking to you. You're the leader over there. Tell them boys to hike up them fucking pants and drink their Gatorade a little bit longer, because they might be on the field. San Fran in Arizona, not really much of a game there. It's just, you know, if you're in a week 18 slot in fantasy somewhere in your championships, hey, you might have a Trey McBride or a George Kittle, but I like if you have a week 18 anything in fantasy football right now, the championship's just finished. I had a couple teams win in Yahoo. I think I'll have one in ESPN, and I got my man over at NFL.com known as the Dick team that just won. So, like, you know, we didn't win all of them, but we did win some of them. If you have a Week 18 fantasy football matchup, I pray to the gods for it, because this is the clusterfuck of all weeks. Miami and New York Jets. Miami needs this one. Jets could play spoiler. That I will give, because I think Jets might pull out the win this week. Why do I say that? Because why not go out on a high? Why not go out knowing that you stopped the Miami Dolphins in any playoff hopes that they had? You go get Aaron Rodgers his 500th touchdown and throw a couple more to the rest of your boys. And maybe make an actual, you know, argument to bring your ass back next year, Rodgers. I think Rodgers is done in New York, as I think with Devontae Adams and whoever else doesn't want to be there. Honestly, I'm cleaning the goddamn lockers out, and whoever wants to be here, let's get to work. Day one shit. Let's do it. Enough of this crap. Here's a good afternoon game for all y'all. Seattle and Los Angeles Rams. That will be for the NFC West Division Crown. Number 4 playoff spot on the line. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a good one. Tune in for it. Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. It's just another game. Chargers are in. They would like to win and lock up seeding wise, right? You don't need to go in and play fucking Buffalo in week 1. So go take care of business. Get your playoff seeding. And all's love and good and war. Sunday Night Football. Again, you can't put the amount of importance on this game. Number 1 seed in the NFC. And a bye week with the division crown. All of it is on the line this Sunday night. So make sure you tune in. You got your popcorn and snacks in one hand, you got your drink in the other, and you got your fucking beer cap with whatever you like in it, sucking on that shit while you watch some good football. We got a week 18 coming up for you. It's going to be a wonderful week. We got great football ahead of us. We got playoffs just around the corner. Kansas City takes the number 1 seed in the AFC. You got the Bills as the number 2 seed. They're doing their thing. Houston's dangling somewhere. I think they're going to be 4th seed by the looks of it. Because what? Who else we got? We got fucking... oh, no. I guess they will be 4th seed because you got whoever's coming out of the AFC North. That's who. So they should be the 3. Houston the 4. You got KC at 1. Bills at 2. The clusterfuck happening in the wild card situation. That's just... Jesus Christ almighty, I tell you. Pittsburgh's already locked up a spot. LA Chargers have already locked up a spot. There's 1 playoff spot left in the AFC. Denver Broncos can take it with a win. The Cincinnati Bengals need to win and Denver to lose. Doesn't get much simpler than that. I think Miami's equationed in there somehow, but I don't see them winning. I don't see them making playoffs. If they do, it'll be that random, like, holy fuck, these teams all lost and they won on a Sunday. Like, I've seen weirder shit happen. I've seen teams sneak into the playoffs. It's phenomenal. But I don't think Miami's going to do it. I think it comes down to Denver and Cincy in the AFC. And the NFC, that shit's been more or less decided for weeks. It's just a matter of who's where and which of the final teams is going to grab it. You only have a few situations happening over there. Sunday Night Football determines the number 1 seed and the number 5 seed between the 2 NFC teams that are both 14-2 right now. You're going to have a wild card team at 14-3. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. If I'm the fucking number 4 seeded team which is most likely going to be the winner of, I think, the NFC South. Either the Falcons or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be playing either Detroit or Minnesota. Holy shit. Good luck. Good luck in the wild card round, man. Holy shit. But again, crazier things have happened. You had back in a 7-9 Seattle Seahawks team in 2013. Had Marshawn Lynch and Matt Hasselbeck at quarterback. All right. With whatever the hell else the rest of that team. I don't have all the players' names, but I remember some. And I remember Marshawn Lynch's run on that 11-5 fucking New Orleans Saints team that had looked dominant and were expected as heavy favorites to win that game, and Seattle shit on them. After winning a game the week prior as a 6-9 team to go 7-9 to win the division, because that's how bad the division was that year. They won it with a losing fucking record. And then they won a playoff game. Then they draft Russell Wilson, go on to win a Super Bowl, go on to play in another one where they get fucked by the Patriots. Like, everything starts from somewhere. Remember that. Playoff heroes are coming. It is upon us. It's going to be fun. You got the NFC in such a shit show. You're going to have a division winner of two teams that have been just scrapping it to the end, having to face a fucking 14-3 team as their playoff wild card round. Oh man, what a shit show that's going to be. Number 2 is probably going to go to the Eagles, I think, if how that's locked up. Commanders have control of that. I think they're 7th or 6th. Depending on how Green Bay finishes, I'm not 100% sure on that seeding, but it'll be Green Bay, Washington, however like that. They're 2 wild card teams. So Green Bay, Washington, and either Minnie or Detroit, depending on Sunday night's game, will determine your non-division winners of the playoffs, right? So then you'll have the Eagles at number 2. You'll have the number 4 of the NFC South. And then Sunday's afternoon game for the NFC West crown will give you your number 3 team, which will either be the Seattle Seahawks or the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams are playing really good football. So, yeah, we're done. We're coming to a close. We're done with the grand episode 10. We're in double digits now, baby. And it's all thanks to all of you. And it's all thanks to the support that we get from all our friends, from all our family, from all our supporters, from all our followers. So thank you from us here at the Beardown Corner, from myself, Sergeant Cornholio / Dick Hank, and whatever other multiple split personalities there are. But hey, we're here for a good time. So don't forget to tune in most Sundays to evenings and afternoons throughout the week for the Dick Hank stream, where we have all kinds of fun, shit shows, little bits of conversation, and however, some football talk, and much more. But also in the future, there's going to be other spin downs coming off of this podcast. So be prepared for what will be known as the Dick Hank Podcast. DHP. We're working with names. It's just kind of the first one. I think I have some better ones though. Right now my brain is like ready for the year to be over with. So with that being said, we wish you a happy new year. Hope your Christmas was wonderful. I am Cornhole. This is the Beardown Corner. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, and iHeartRadio. You can catch us anywhere. We love you. Thanks for the support. Have a great day. See you in 2025. Until the next time, take care of yourself.